Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is how to get the most out of a professional learning community. Maybe you have already been involved in a professional learning community. This could look like other music teachers in your district, or it could look like other teachers in your school, whether that's the librarian, art teacher, you yourself, obviously, and your other specials teams. Or maybe you're involved in both of those professional learning communities. Or maybe you've heard of this term and you're like, that's a great idea, but my school or my district doesn't really do that. I've kind of wanted to, but I don't know how to get started. I don't even know what it looks like or what it means. Then this episode will give you some ideas that you can implement, whether you fall into Camp A or Camp B. The first thing is to have a running agenda. The cool thing about a professional learning community, or PLC is what we'll call it the rest of the episode, is the fact that you get to set your own agenda. This isn't something that's given to you by your principal. It is an agenda that is set by you and your committee. So this could be a Google Doc that is ongoing. It's shareable where you can all edit it and add to the agenda. Maybe it's something you're wanting to revisit from a previous meeting, something that you really want to discuss. Maybe it's something that you're on your agenda, you're putting down, talking about different interventions to do with students or ideas that have worked for classroom management. Or maybe it has to do with the particular month of the school year you're in, or part of the school year you're in, whether or 9 weeks or whatever it might be, that you want to discuss events coming up for the school year or things like that. All that to say, you're going to meet regularly and you're going to have an agenda that's kind of like a running document. And if you don't get to everything on the agenda, then you can just move it to the next time. I think another great idea is to rotate who leads the meeting. Now, you're all going to have your own input and ideas, but having a rotation of who leads the meeting, this person is just kind of the one kind of going through the agenda step by step and saying, okay, now we're going to discuss this. And you kind of keep everyone on track. You make sure everybody's opinions are heard. You are maybe also the note taker who is jotting down what has been shared. Maybe you're also the one who is presenting ideas. Each time you take turns presenting ideas, and it's your turn. So you're leading something that worked well for you in your classroom, or maybe you're talking about, if you guys wanted to discuss classroom management, a new strategy or idea that worked well for you. So those are different ideas. When you're leading, you can either just be the person who's, like I said, jotting down notes. You're more like the moderator, keeping people on track. Or maybe you are the facilitator, or you're also the one sharing ideas. You decide as a group what works best for you guys. Like, what do you want the meetings to look like? Do you want it to be a person presenting something, like a quick, when I say present, 5-10 minutes of an idea? Do you want to be where you're all giving input and sharing ideas, or do you just want it to be a collaborative effort with no leader? But I think it's a great idea to have different people rotate who is leading the meetings. So other ideas for getting the most out of a PLC is to talk about best practices happening in your classroom and to share ideas. I personally think everyone should be able to share ideas, should be able to ask questions, should be able to have their voice heard. And I honestly think hearing from everyone is a great idea, because whether it is different subject areas where it's inside of your school or you're meeting with other music teachers from your district, everyone is going to have different things that work well and different things they have tried that you are going to go, oh, I never thought about that. Or, oh, I didn't know I could implement that. Or I didn't think about, implementing that idea in my classroom with that particular group of students or age group or whatever it might be. So when others share ideas, sometimes it's like a light bulb moment goes off. You don't even think you were struggling in that area until someone shares an idea, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea I never even thought about. Another way to get the most out of your PLC is to discuss individual students. Get ideas and support around them and interventions that could be tried or implemented around certain students. This is not to a gripe session. This is not to discuss a student to be like, oh my gosh, can you believe they did that again? No. If you're struggling with a certain student or a grade level or a group of students or a couple students, this is the perfect opportunity to ask your questions, to get advice. They're not going to have the magic cure-all where it's going to solve all your problems tomorrow, but sharing and being vulnerable is going to help you get ideas that you need that you could begin trying to implement. You don't know if that idea is going to work, but if you don't ever ask or say, hey, this student is really kind of been a struggle in my classroom, what can I do? Or what have you tried that has worked well for you? And you may be able to implement a couple ideas into your classroom based upon feedback. Or maybe it's teachers that don't even know that student. You don't even need to give their real name. You could just say, I'm struggling with a certain student, and this is what I'm struggling with. Do you have ideas you could share with me? And they may be able to give you some ideas that you could try. You could also, when I said share ideas and ask questions, please don't hold back on giving feedback. Don't think I have nothing to share I hear that so many times. I'm a first-year teacher, I have nothing to share. Or an idea I share, they probably already do anyway, so why would I give them feedback? Or why would I offer suggestions? You have so much to share. Whether you've been teaching 30 years or 1 year, you have knowledge and wisdom to share with others. Please, if someone asks a question, don't hold back on giving your answer. Don't think that you don't have anything that might benefit them, because you do. I promise. And if your answer is not something they could take and run with, the more you share, the more ideas that you give, the more answers that you provide, then you're going to feel more comfortable sharing each and every time that you're in these meetings. And you're going to be blown away that one day people that are in these meetings with you are going to really love your feedback, and you're going to be giving answers that they are taking and implementing in their classroom because you felt comfortable sharing. So if you have a PLC that you meet with regularly, I would love to hear ideas that worked well for you. Let me know in whatever way that is, social media, email, whatever, what really has worked well for you, and share that with others as well. Join my free Facebook group, the Elementary Music Teacher Community, and share in there about what has worked really well for you when it comes to meeting as a professional learning community. And I would love to hear all about it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook group. Come on over and join us there, where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.